All right, so today's video, we're going to be watching a Bronze 3 support on PC playing Ana and Brig. Both those heroes complement each other. Also, just to give people context, the hero bands, Sombra, Moira, Mercy. And they say, all right, so this was quite the interesting game for me. Started on Ana for our first defense, and our team did pretty okay. I definitely had some positioning and aim problems that didn't help us in holding the line. Missing critical sleeps, nades, shots, and unfortunately holding my second nano for Overwatch 3. I was looking for a combo like Blade/Nano, not realizing I needed to just fire it off sooner to try securing a team fight. We'll talk about that when we get to it. So the enemy capped just before overtime hit. From this point on, I made the swap to Brig as I felt more comfortable playing into Doom and Vendetta as Brig compared to Ana. I'm not sure how much of an impact this had on the game overall, but I feel that I played better and the team did better. We'll again evaluate that. I'm not going to spoil how the rest went, but I will give you a humorous subplot. Our Genji started this game by demanding I pocket him. I refused as it's not a playstyle that I enjoy or do. He then proceeded to beg me to Mercy pocket him. Guess we forgot that Mercy was banned, while criticizing my Brig swap. So just to make this clear, the Genji was begging for a Mercy pocket with Mercy being banned. Apparently, he thought because I have Maid in my name that I would listen to him. Oh yeah, because the person's name here is Wolf Girl Maid. That's just so people get the context of that one. But I don't play that way, so just kept denying him while happily bashing my enemy's face with the flail and shield. I hope this just as entertaining a game for you as it was for me, and I think I can pick up some helpful tips and tricks to better your play. Yeah, sounds like your Genji was a bundle of joy. All right, you're starting off in a strong spot. I'm okay with this. Okay. I just gotta let you know, don't button mash your cooldowns. I just watched it right away. You saw somebody go in and your reaction was just to throw a bunch of buttons at them. Just be careful of that. And then he got rolled. I mean, you set up properly, you just kind of didn't really do anything with it. I talk about it a lot, like, don't just spam buttons, right? Like, just don't spam buttons like that, and you'll have a much better opportunity. Like, your cooldowns on Honor are so important. You need to kind of save them for the right opportunity. Now, Honor Grenade, I'm a little bit more aggressive with, but Sleep Dart, like, save it for one of these, like, backline pressure plays, you know? Yeah. Trust me, that's why I don't suggest high ground as much. Like a require when I watch bronze games, but I don't require it as much because, like, I get that, but at the same time, that spot was still fine. I mean, like, it was just more on the lines of just missing the cooldowns and just kind of spam buttons. So you're flicking your sleep darts to the left. Just keep it right on them. Okay. I think you're finally going to make it back to your team. Their team was aggressively in your spawn. Look down below you to heal your teammate. Don't be afraid of Honor Grenade. Good Honor Grenade. That's going to get both of them healed up a little bit. That's going to also help your Juno with those heals. All right, look for your Hog. Oh, pathing again. Be careful. There it is. Okay, you ready to settle? Let's settle for a second. Just settle. Just settle. There you go. Right here is fine. This is the total. Don't just settle. Just, okay. We got to talk about this very quickly. So, and this comes a lot with more experience and practice when you're playing. You can't sit there and, like, just move around like you're doing the whole time. Like, you're running all over the place. You're trying to keep up with this. You just got to settle. Just settle on a spot. Look for some heals. You can move around if they go for you. All of this. But, like, you can't just sit there and do what you just did right there. You just ran around in circles. Kept running around, you never settled, and that is going to be a problem. You're never going to be able to settle on your mechanics or your aim if you're doing that, right? Like even there, like that sleep, you're just kind of throwing it at them, but you're not really even trying to, like, aim at them during it, and then here we are. So there's just a lot you're doing there. It's okay to just settle. Just settle. Like, this is okay, you settled a little bit here. Now, the only thing I would suggest is be wary of where this line of sight is. Yeah, you're good. As long as this is covering you from this angle specifically, this angle's tougher to deal with, right? Like, you can't do much, but as long as it covers this specific angle right here, which if I look here, you are in the perfect spot. So you're good. That was just a good Doom punch. Good play by Doom. So the sensitivity could be too high? It could be. I mean, I try to stray away from it too much. I think I recently talked about sensitivity in one video, but Yeah, I mean, sometimes it could just be like, okay. So whenever it comes to aim and like sensitivity, etc., as a high sense player, what really basically helps you is good positioning. Straight up. It's just good positioning. And what I mean by that is when you have less to think about in Overwatch, the better you'll be, right? There's a ton that happens in Overwatch. I mean a ton, right? Now I'll pause during this while we wait for the settle. Like, so much happens in Overwatch, but the easiest way to really settle your aim is just to settle, right? If you're moving around and you have bad positioning and you have, you know, and you're running around in circles, how can your aim really settle? Right now, obviously, pro players will be a little bit more like, you know, you're going to hit those shots and you can get away with it a little bit more. But when you're climbing all the way from bronze, like, just find a spot that has good positioning. And what that means is they can't kill you easily and your teammates are in line of sight, and just let that play for you for a while. And what will happen is then your sensitivity might get a lot better in those situations because you're just settled, and then you can finally work on your aim and do all of that stuff. But if you're running it in circles like this all the time and never setting up in a spot that's going to be beneficial to help your team and also not get rolled right away, this is what's going to happen. So I just want to get you in the habit of that, and yeah, that's that. Sleep darts need work. And again, this goes back to what I'm talking about. You just keep moving around. Doom's on you. There you go. Now just wait. Wait it out. On a grenade. Yeah, you could have saved your teammate much sooner. Okay, yeah, there it is. See how you're just like spamming cooldowns? What I mean by that is like you're not even given time to settle on those shots. I have not watched you stop moving your keyboard for the past whatever month this map has been. Nano, your hog, might as well. You're here. Okay, well now you're on this side. This might be some of your best play. This is your best position so far. You need to work on your sleep darts. You're rushing your stuff. You're just sending it. Yep. Yeah, of course. Yeah, we have the bronze VODs occasionally. We just don't get many bronze submissions, believe it or not, even though we have like some bronze videos. There it is. Okay. Now, okay, listen. We are now 4 minutes into the game, and I don't think you've, like, stopped moving your keyboard. Straight up. Like, I literally have not seen you stop. So you ready for this? Just relax now. Go to a spot, vibe, you'll be good to go. But if you keep running around like this is where you're going to keep having that inconsistent aim and random cooldown spam. Yep. See what I mean? Now you're going towards them. This is easier to kill you, which means you'll take more damage from them. Stay out of their effective range. They don't have a sniper right now, do they? I don't think so, so you want to stay out of their effective range. Make this Venture have to go all the way behind you like that. Look at them. Nice job. That was the most minimal movement you had. You notice in your most minimal movement you survived? Because your positioning was still good, right? This time you have to move around. I'm not going to blame you for this one. I see that you were looking at your cooldowns. I would try to use your sleep dart much sooner because I know I told you not to rush them, but in that situation, you have 2 seconds left on your honor grenade. So you want to throw your sleep dart in the hopes that you can sleep one of them for even a second, then throw the honor grenade on the ground to purple them to either force them out, and then force out even the shift on Reaper if they hadn't used it or anything like that. So cooldown management. Again, you had to sleep, and that time you chose to save it. I mean, like you just slept, like, do you see what I mean? Like, you just slept the cart. You're not even given your chance, like, you're just not even given, like, the sleep dart to settle. This is your reaction right now. Are you ready? Sleep dart. There's no aiming. You're just hitting sleep dart. It's almost like you want a flick shot, but you're doing the sleep dart before the flick shot. Does that make sense? You're missing by a mile because you're not even trying to aim it. You're just hitting the button. And that's not how you want to play the honor grenade. By just hitting the button like that. You're going to have to go for some reactionary shots sometimes, but got to settle. Ended up being a solid second point considering how the first point went. That is an interesting bomb. It might actually get a kill, which is the best part because the Vendetta's stuck. Yep. So. Okay. Notice you settled right there? The 2 times I've watched you just stop moving your... There it is again. See your sleeps? You're doing exactly what I'm talking about. You gotta just slow it down. The few times I've watched you slow it down, you make a play. Every other time, you're running in circles. I like your setup spot here. No. Listen, go right here. The cart's already at this point. You don't need to try to push any more past this. It would be a bad play if you did. You're going to end up right in front of them. So, like, just go here and just chill. What's going to happen is the Junkrat going to launch damage at you. The Vendetta, just go right here. Don't keep going this way. If you keep going that way, it will be a mistake. I can maybe buy into this, but then I looked at, like, where your Genji was, and you would have been fine. Okay, you hit a sleep. Finally. Nice. There you go. See, this is what I mean. You're just moving around. Also, I think you're lifting up your mouse a lot. Like, are you on, like, a conveyor belt right now? Because it just feels like nothing's stopping, and you're just on a conveyor belt the whole time. That's what it feels like. All right, you need to slow it down. I'm telling you, your gameplay is going to get so much better if you just don't do that. You're not giving yourself any opportunity. I'm telling you, the moment you just lock in and just chill, you're gonna get much better results. And like going back to the lack of nano and stuff, my biggest advice to that is you're probably going to build fairly quick nanos if you're healing people. So don't be afraid to use your ultimate occasionally. I'm telling you, it will go a long way. Okay. Anyway, let's see how your Brig goes and go from there. Yeah, I know it really can affect the gameplay. Yep. Doesn't mean like stand like a statue somewhere either. It just means like if you get to a spot that's beneficial, you don't have to move from it right away. Right? You're gonna have to reposition at times, but not all the time. So I don't mind your swap to Brig here. I actually, Juno Brig is a viable comp. To give people an idea on Brig, and I think this is helpful advice, and I give it every time I play Brig, you've probably heard somewhere along the lines from someone that Brig is a tank. Brig is not a tank. This is not Overwatch 1. At no point, even at Overwatch 2 peak of Brig, which I don't even think has been a major peak of Brig, Brig is not a tank. Okay? You benefit from when you get in a limb. What you do is you keep your other teammate alive. Your Juno is the most important person to keep alive right now. My advice is always keep your other support up, and the results of this will go well. You're basically the equivalent of what Zarya was in Overwatch 1, where you basically help your team. You use your cooldowns effectively to help your teammates, and then because you help your teammates pop off, you will also have those pop-off moments with your ultimate and other things in general. You said Stadium Brig can be? That could be a fair assessment, but this is not Stadium, so... Miss Haydizzle, thank you for the 22 months of the Tier 1. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Anything could be a tank in Stadium. I played a game of Ashe in Stadium, and I was a tank. You know, like, that's different. You can't build that in ranked. So if you're asking, would I be okay if you Brig ulted this? The answer is yes. If you got your Brig ult in time, I would be okay with it. If they were going through the doorways, they are not. Do not use your Brig ult now. You say, what do you mean not major peak? Stop rage baiting. Her peak was broken as that. You're talking about in Overwatch 2, just to make this very clear. You're saying that Brig in peak Overwatch 2 was broken. Is that what you're saying? Because I said that Overwatch 1 Brig was the tank, right? Overwatch 1 is the tank. Overwatch 2 Brig? No. Overwatch 1 Brig, very, very overpowered, very ridiculous tank. Overwatch 2 Brig has not hit the levels of that Brig at any point, which is why Brig is on a tank in these situations in Overwatch 2. Right there, I'm okay with you not popping your ultimate. This is a team fight right next to your spawn, so. Pop your ult if you want. Nope, don't pop your ult now. You're good. Junkrat's just kind of hecked up. I would have been okay if you popped your ultimate there to keep that sustain after your Roadhog got the pick. So, like, if you survive that, I'm okay with it. But then your Roadhog got the pick, and then the Junkrat got lost, and it all worked out. So not using your ultimate ended up being the correct play, so good job. I would have been okay if you went to survive that, because I don't want you to trade out at that point. Yeah, I mean, I think you're a little bit hesitant on ultimates, and again, this goes back to the positioning. if you're just sitting there back with your Juno, none of this really happens. But you get so far up that you get picked off and killed easily. Try not to be too aggro there. I'm just glad you hit your button. Okay, like right here, make sure you armor pack your Genji and stuff. Like you have 3 armor packs and your Genji's been at critical HP the whole time. Listen, the easiest way for a team to get back into a team fight when they're getting ult stacked is basically giving up a free kill. Like you have your ultimate, put an armor pack on your Genji there. You notice how your Genji was at critical the whole time? Like yes, you survived that, but those are the chances that you don't want to take there. Just give him 1 armor pack. Your Genji will be fine. That one's on your Genji right there. Your Genji just by himself. So, although you could have technically taken map control on that. Here it is. I mean, I'm just glad you held your shield up for a second. Don't be afraid to bash away. Is this health pack available? I just want to double check. Health pack awareness, by the way. There is a health pack here. I always talk about health pack awareness. This is a good option. I think once you survive the initial burst, I know it was difficult, but, you know, that could be the last ditch effort there to stay alive, and I think it could work. I'm waiting. Still waiting. I like everything. Okay. This is so like, you run into the same issue on Brig. You just stick with your Juno. That's it. Just stick with your Juno. Look where your Juno's at. Start with that, and then go by. Make your decision after that. Okay. Well, there's a BAP window, and there you go. There you go. Okay. By the way, believe it or not, this is some of the best gameplay you've done so far because you're not running at them, you're not feeding. You've settled, you're not over pushing, you're not feeding, you're keeping your teammates alive, and that's what you're doing. So. Pop your ult. Listen, I've seen you hold your ultimate for like an hour and a half most of the time. I know you use your ultimate on second point, but that was after 3 people were down. I think you massively underestimate how good a Brig ultimate can be for just getting the team to back up. If you even hear a Brig ult, people just back up. So right now you have a pick, you have map control, you have opportunity. This is your opportunity. Pop that Brig ultimate, and you can be more aggressive now, right? I talked about how Brig isn't a tank like in Overwatch 1. But this is a situation where I talked about also when you get the numbers advantage, this is where you take advantage of that. So pop your ult. They have no lamp. They have no grav. Pop your ultimate. Take the momentum. Pop your ult. Just... So, like, just to give you an idea, if you pop your ultimate in that situation, that Reaper goes for the backline kill. You bash the Reaper right away because you have your ultimate. Now you're good. Now it's going to look good because you're going to pop your ult here. And this is going to be a good ultimate. But I think you can get away with your Roadhog being alive. You don't even have to worry about this, and you win anyway. So, goes back to what we were saying. Yep. Remember, you have a numbers advantage now, which is why you're seeing this. Yep. Also, for anybody that's like really new to Overwatch, just so you know, proc and Inspire, you're going to hear that called a lot. That means when you just do damage with Brig, that will proc heals. That's how you do your AoE heals. It's not just armor packs. That's how Brig can do a lot of healing. So far, your heals are, you know, solid. Let's go here and see how your defense goes. Now, obviously, Brig has been a better option so far. Okay, here we go. that are off heal and main heal? What do you mean? Like, are you like, oh, are there characters that, yeah, I mean, there's definitely some supports that are more beneficial as like being the one to focus on mainly a lot of the heals, while the others like either DPS or like support. So like, for example, a Yari, like you can get a ton of healing without being the main support. Does that make sense? Okay. Now remember, if you proc and inspire, you're going to heal your teammates anyway. You need to work on your cooldown spam. Like right there, your flails you're missing because you're not even giving yourself time to heal it with it. You also keep hitting. There's something you're doing, and I can't tell if you're like hitting the corner of your mouse pad. Does anybody else notice that too? I can't speak for like your sensitivity on that one, obviously, like. But what I can say is that you're definitely hitting something where you need to reset your mouse. Good job there. A little bit all over the place, though. I still want to see you settle, right? I feel like that was a team fight that could have easily been lost, too. It feels like you're hitting something. Like, I don't know if you're hitting your keyboard, but there's a spot where you keep resetting. Try to look at what that might be. That means that's something you can fix that might help your aim in general without me having you switch your sensitivity. But I'm watching you hit something, right? And you can see it. Your mouse, like, you hit something and then you reset your mouse. So either you're running out of mouse pad space, or you're lifting your mouse or something, or there's cat fur in your like sensor or something. But there's something you're doing that I see happen occasionally that would just help. So you do have a small mouse pad and not a lot of space for mouse pad to move. Okay, that makes sense then. Yeah. So you're definitely, I'm just saying, like, I'm not sure how to solve that. You know, obviously I could suggest maybe a more mid-sized mouse pad for you, but like, again, I don't know what your desk is like, you know, mouse pads, etc. So that. If you can't, you can't, right? But I would look into what's causing that, because I see it reset a few times. So I'm a high sense player too, so I get it. And I used to play at a much smaller mouse pad, and that was something that could happen. Yes. Okay, so like this goes back to what I was talking about. You see when you keep missing, like you keep missing those flails, you were doing the exact same thing in on a grenade. You need time to settle. You're just hitting the button, and then you're not worrying about the aiming aspect of it. So that's why I might make this up number-wise, but I feel like you've probably only hit about 10 to 15% of like your sleep darts and like your Brig flails. And like truthfully, like that number needs to be much higher. Like much higher. All right. All right, let's see. Remember, I still want you to pay attention to your other support more than you are. All right. Good job there by your team. Finally hit that, but it's because they were directly in front of you. I mean, I don't think they can really win this unless they come back and like one-shot everybody with Echo and then get an ultimate and then, you know, hog all the people off. I think you just win. GG's. So yeah, so listen, you have a lot to work on in that stuff, but that's not a bad thing. Like sometimes when you have things to work on, it means you can see improvement pretty quickly. So like you gotta really work on those skill shots. Like you can't be missing flails as much as you do. Like the flails proc inspire, so does like the shield bashes. You were missing a ton of those, right? So you can't keep missing those when you do. Same with Ana, but the number one thing, and I want you to start working on this, enough of moving around like you're on a conveyor belt. I really want you to slow down that like movement and recognize that like a lot of running around in circles and just constantly moving is going to heck up your aim a lot more. And, you know, being a high sense player, then, you know, the more you slow your movement down, right? And you settle, the more you can start to maybe strafe aim a little bit more. And that will help with that aim too. And less of like having your mouse hit the keyboard or fall off the mouse pad, etc. Right? There's things that can fix there. So I'm not going to overcomplicate a lot of like this, you know, gameplay for you. Cause I think if I give you 100 things, it can be a lot of information. So I would say settle for a little bit, stop moving around so much, be in spots that are beneficial for you and your team, and work on your skill shots, like hitting the flail, like hitting your honest sleeps, and everything will settle and you'll see improvement. If you keep running around in circles like that, it's just gonna be a lot of inconsistencies. And I'm telling you, once you fix that, everything else will start to fall into place. So you got this. You absolutely got this. If you liked the video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube if you haven't, leave a comment, all of it helps. If you want to submit your own video like this, my Discord's where to do that. And outside of that, we have a ton of spectating. So if you want to watch more, it's going to pop up here in a box on the bottom or it's on the side. With that being said, hope you all have an amazing day/night.